The headlines: thousands of registered voters failed to collect PVCs in Osun. Senator Stella Odua dams Abga for PDP. Bang Boye, first military governor of Kwara, with the news on the hour on television Nigerian. The governorship elections in Osun State is a matter of hours from now, and the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC says 435,015 registered voters in Osun who failed to collect their permanent voter cards PVCs will not be participating in the election. Olusegun Agbaje, the resident electoral commissioner in Osun, made this known on Friday at the press conference in Osogbo, stating that at the end of the collection exercise on Wednesday, over 1.2 million PVCs were collected out of the over 1.6 million who registered for the voter cards. He gave an assurance that the uncollected PVCs were safe in the Commission's custody, adding that the credible election would hold on Saturday, while warning against vote buying, which will attract a fine of 500,000 naira. And still on the Osun election, the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC had on Monday at a stakeholders meeting in Osun State banned the use of mobile phones, cameras or any recording devices by voters during the Osun State governorship elections scheduled for September 22nd, 2018. Correspondent Courage Danladi sampled the opinions of a cross-section of Nigerians on the development and filed in their responses.
Actually, that is out of the law. It's not something that is supposed to be heard, because phones is meant for communication, and if they had banned phones from being used on the day of elections, I wonder how, if there's any security challenges, how one could communicate with the security agencies on such challenges. Actually, that is out of the law. It's not something that is supposed to be heard, because phones is meant for communication, and if they had banned phones from being used on the day of elections, I wonder how, if there's any security challenges, how one could communicate with the security agencies on such challenges.
I say it's very unfortunate. Information give birth to revolution, and when information is lacking, the people tend to live in opaque, which is another complete total darkness.
It's good. Maybe before they ban it, they have no reason. So if it is good to save people's life, let them ban it. But if it is something that they will ban phone and people will not make call that time, they will not do anything, something, it's good that it will save life, because they use phone to do bad now. So I believe that the option is good.
I don't think it should be banned, because mobile phone definitely is of use for us in our day-to-day life now. So why will it be banned?
You know, I think it's actually a good innovation, but looking at that will not actually stop corruption.
Reports from the race for the Kogi West senatorial candidature for the People's Democratic Party (PDP) indicated that a progressive meeting between Kaba People's Democratic Party (PDP) leaders to select a consensus candidate for the party resolved in favor of Senator Dino Melaye to continue his representation of the senatorial district on the party's platform. Consequently, frontline politician Tajuddin Yusuf, who had earlier indicated interest for the position, was impressed upon to step down for Melaye, while the meeting also unanimously resolved that Yusuf should instead run for the House of Representatives. As at the time of filing this report, Tajuddin Yusuf had on Friday picked the declaration of interest form for the House of Representatives, while the party's stakeholders expressed satisfaction with the development and their overwhelming support for the duo of Melaye and Yusuf to succeed at the polls. After the break, Senator Stella Odua dams Abga for PDP. An annual agricultural exposition ends in Abuja. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Prince David Adetunji Ade, known as I am a lawyer and energy specialist. And I am also running for the House of Representatives for Amak Buhari Federal Constituency under Young Progressive Party YPP. One of the fundamental reasons I choose to serve as the people representative is to seek ways to create job and employment for FCT indigents and residents. Nigeria educate for would-be investors or job creators of minimum of 100 jobs. This bill will give tax incentives and other tax holidays to incentivize these job creators. We would set up cooperative community banks within the community that would give small startup loans for small businesses as non-securitized or collateralized at very small interest rate. So you see, election matters and your vote count. Please vote YPP, vote Prince David Adetunji Ade for House of Reps come Saturday, 16 February 2019. Thank you.
Young Progressive Party. Service to the people. Welcome back. And on the rest of the news, Senator Stella Odua has dumped the All Progressives Grand Alliance APGA for a return to the People's Democratic Party PDP just 3 months after she joined the party. The representative of Anambra North Senatorial District had announced her initial defection from the PDP onto the APGA on June 6, 2018 and termed it as a homecoming to a party whose ideals resonate with their philosophy. However, just 3 months later, the former Minister of Aviation has dumped the party for a return to the PDP, announcing that her ideological expectations were a mirage, accusing the party of lacking internal democracy. In a statement released by her media office, bringing together regions of food and fiber value chain, as well as instituting great deal of interest and influence in agriculture. Courage Danladi completes that report.
The African Premier Official for Agric Expo and FACAN held its 2018 conference on the 18th to 20th of September at internationally based the latest agricultural products, services and equipment.
Agric Expo is an exhibition of agriculture all over the world. China, Israel, US, European Union, and Nigeria.
The Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme for Agribusiness Advancement (YISA) also recorded their presence at the event to encourage, educate, and attract youth to agriculture.
YISA, YESWA, Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme for Agribusiness Advancement, was born. Is an initiative that was born, to encourage youths into agribusiness. Considering the aging population of farmers today, and also the increasing unemployment in our society.
Courage Danladi, TVN News.
And time now for some business news, and Chinwe is on standby with the business bulletin.
Cybersecurity Experts Association of Nigeria, CSION, has called on President Muhammadu Buhari to assent to the Electronic Transaction Bill, which has been passed by the Senate in May last year. The Cybersecurity Advocacy Group said that assenting to the bill becomes very crucial to leverage it to prosecute cases and make claims. AFON also emphasized that the time has come when the government will show seriousness in ensuring that Nigerians are protected in their financial transactions. The Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, and other relevant stakeholders have reviewed standards to revive Nigerians' ailing paper industry. The Director General, SON, Osita Aboloma, explained that the committee meeting was to rectify the requirement of standards that a group of experts have already worked upon, emphasizing on the need to review standards for the product and the need for the nation's paper industry to be abreast of global technology and standards in order to be competitive with similar businesses across the world, as well as the need to maintain standards to guide some technical issues related to these products. The federal government on Thursday called for the support of farmers to make the price of local rice more affordable for Nigerians. The Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development
And that was the business news. We now take a commercial break, and when we come back, there will be more sports and, of course, stories from the foreign scene. Join us again. Welcome to Living Treasures Academy. Enjoy a conducive and serene learning environment. Qualified and experienced teachers. Equipped computer laboratory and library. Secured atmosphere. Extracurricular activities. An all-embracing curriculum for total development of the child. Comprehensive education for leadership. Join us today from crèche to secondary levels. Living Treasures Academy, committed to excellence. Sports, dismay and condemnations greeted the lifting of the ban on Russia's anti-doping agency RUSADA by the World Anti-Doping Agency WADA. Although the change will have no immediate effect on current bans on the Russian federations for athletics, weightlifting and Paralympics, the conditional lifting of the ban opens the door for their return following the reinstatement of the Russian Olympic Committee after the country was banned from this year's Winter Games in South Korea. RUSADA was suspended in November 2015 after an independent WADA report carried out by Canadian lawyer Richard McLaurin outlined evidence of massive state-backed systematic doping and cover-ups in Russian sport. WADA has repeatedly said since that Russia would not be reinstated until it satisfied key criteria on the roadmap for return, including recognizing the findings of the McLaurin report and allowing access to stored urine samples at Moscow laboratory. On the foreign scene, Tanzania's top police official Simon Siro reports that the death toll from Tanzania's ferry accident, which happened on Thursday in Lake Victoria near Ukara Island on its way from Bogorora, has hit 136, with many feared missing. The MV Nyerere ferry overturned near the shore between the islands of Ukora and Bogorora, and it was believed that the overloaded vessel toppled over when crowds on board moved to one side as it docked. Officials have said the ferry was carrying more than 400 passengers. About 100 people were rescued, while 32 are said to be in critical condition. The Trump administration has imposed sanctions on Chinese military for buying fighter jets and missile systems from Russia in breach of a sweeping U.S. sanctions law punishing Moscow for meddling in the 2016 U.S. election. China's foreign ministry has strongly urged the United States to withdraw the sanctions, according to spokesman Geng Shuang at a daily news briefing in Beijing. The U.S. State Department said it will immediately impose sanctions on China's Equipment Development Department, EDD, the branch of the Chinese military responsible for weapons and equipment, and its director Li Shangfu for engaging in significant transactions with Rosoboronexport, Export, Russia's main arms exporter. The State Department further stated that the sanctions are related to China's purchase of 10 Su-35 combat aircraft in 2017 and S-400 surface-to-air missile equipment-related equipment in 2018, and that blocked the Chinese agency and Li from applying for export license and participating in the U.S. financial system. And back home, and on a sad note, the first military governor of Kwara State, retired Brigadier General David Bamigboye, has died on Friday morning in Lagos after a brief illness. The deceased younger brother, retired Colonel Theophilus Bamigboye, confirmed the death on Friday. Born on December 7, 1940, the deceased was the military governor of Kwara between May 1967 and July 1975, and credited with establishing the Kwara State Polytechnic in 1972. And to end the news, a recap of the major stories. Thousands of registered voters failed to collect their PVCs in Osun. Senator Stella Ojua dams Abga for PDP. Bamigboye, first military governor of Kwara State, dies. And on the foreign scene, dozens drown in Tanzania ferry capsize, while in sports, condemnations greeted the lifting of the ban on Russia's anti-doping agency. And that's the news on the hour on television Nigeria. Just before we go, do remember always that peace is priceless while terror is senseless. Give peace a chance. Thanks for watching. I am Nten Epan. Good night. Atol. For almost a decade, the Nigerian army have done their all to ensure that our dear country is not overrun by Boko Haram insurgents. Some have in the process paid the ultimate price, while many will forever live to protect the country, no matter the. Despite these, they have remained resolute and undaunted, and today, all territories the insurgents once took control of have been recaptured and normalcy restored. And now, for the first time in a long time, the end of Boko Haram is foreseeable. Therefore, the wisest thing for the remaining insurgents to do is to surrender today or face total destruction from the army. Remember, the Nigerian army will stop at nothing to ensure that total peace is restored in all parts of the country. So, be wise and embrace peace today or get ready to be ruthlessly dealt with. This message is brought to you by the Coalition on Conflict Resolution and Human Rights in Nigeria.